everyone. Welcome to our channel. My name is Uchenna, and I am here to talk about Ladies Who List Atlanta, Season 1, Episode number 7. Okay, let's talk. So we are at the point now where we are almost at the end of the season, and so much is going on. There's so many different, contentious relationships. It's like no one's really getting along except for the people who are in the clique. We have the Tiffany and Tiana clique, we have the Quiana and Kira clique, and we have the Robin and Cristol kind of clique, and they're all not meshing together. And I thought that by this point they all would be, but they still have their issues. Well, certain people have issues with each other, and they're not able to clearly work through it. The season finale is next week, so let's hope that by then they'll be able to come together some certain type of way. Okay, so the episode begins with Quiana and Robin still arguing about Robin's comment about women who don't have kids don't understand. And that's as far as she was able to go before Quiana was like, hold up, I'm one of those women. And then the argument started, and it still hasn't stopped. So, neither women are backing down because those are the types of women that they are, and I think Quiana is really showing herself to be someone who I don't think she wants to be. She seems to be really argumentative. She has a hard time backing down, and even if she's in the wrong, I don't think she's the type of person that would ever admit that she's wrong. And she's not able to be vulnerable at all. She has this wall up where she wants to be or seem as she's perfect. And I can understand that as a businesswoman, you don't want people to see flaws, but we're human. So we all have flaws, and it's okay. And the more you're vulnerable with people, the more open and receptive they will be to you, instead of having this hard exterior where you don't allow anything through, not out or in. And that's, I think, something that she has to work with. And I think as she sees herself, as the episodes come out, I think she's seen herself in this light and outside of the show, and she doesn't like it. And I think that's the main reason why she left. Not really because the show was supposed to be this, but now it's that. I think it's how the show is making her act, or maybe that's just how she is. I mean, she's a wonderful person, smart, great business mindset, and very professional, but then she does get a little ratchet, and she likes to, well, I wouldn't say she likes to, she does argue. There've been 2 main blowouts, the dinner and this, and she's been the main person instigating it. Robin's also been involved in both of them, but she's not the one that actually starts it. She doesn't back down, which maybe she should, just to, de-escalate this situation, but she doesn't. And Quiana definitely goes at it, and so, I mean, it seemed like a really nice, date for the girls, and it was supposed to be fun and getting to know each other better, but that's not how it turned out. And even now, you see that, I don't even know how it started, but somehow during the whole argument, Tiana, who usually does not get upset about anything, she just takes herself out of that situation like she did at the dinner, she got upset because the get together was going off the handles, and that's not what she wanted. So somehow she and Quiana started arguing. I don't even know what exactly they were arguing about. Tiana was just like, Quiana, you're making this all about you. And it's not. And Quiana was, because it wasn't about her at all. It was about Cristol and Robin, but she turned it around so that she was the one who was the victim, and not standing for someone saying that you don't understand if I have kids, if you don't have kids, which is true. I do have a dog, but if I didn't have a dog, I wouldn't understand all that went into having a dog. And so now that I do, if people who say you don't have a dog, you don't know, yes, I wouldn't know, because at one point I didn't have a dog, and it's a lot of work. They're just like kids. So it's true, and it wasn't like a put down. It was just like there's a different mindset because of the situations that you're put in when you have kids. And we understand why Quiana's so upset about it. It's because she wants to have kids and she's having a difficult time having kids. So we understand, the audience understands why she's so upset about this. The ladies there have an idea that there's something behind this anger, that it's misplaced, but she won't open up and tell them why. So they can't sympathize, empathize. They can't do anything except for, get mad at her and start arguing with her, where she could have tried, just said, and be a little bit vulnerable. I'm trying to have kids, so I really don't appreciate you saying that you don't have kids because you don't understand. I want to understand. I want kids. So it really hurts me when people say that because they don't know my situation. But she couldn't let that wall down. And so they just started arguing. And, Tiana did have a good point. A lot of times Quiana makes things about her. And she just doesn't want that. She wants them all to get along because they don't have a closeness, but I think she would like to be friends with Quiana. And I think Quiana would like to be friends with her, but Quiana made it kind of seem like Tiana is thirsty for her friendship. And I don't think it's like that at all. She's never really talked about Quiana, not in her interviews, not really with Tiffany. So that's like another theme of Quiana having a bigger ego, where she can't see that the reason why Tiana acted like that was because of how she was behaving. She automatically assumed that it's because she was jealous and wanted to be her friend. And that's that whole wall, thing going on. But during the whole argument, Tiana stormed away and went into the barn, and Tiffany went after her to kind of figure out how she was doing. Was she okay? And they started talking. She's like, I don't want it to be like this. This is not how I imagined it to be. I thought we were going to have fun, get to know each other, and celebrate each other. And it's not happening. And Tiffany was like, okay, like, what can I do? And then I think Tiana was just like, I just want to go home. And Tiffany's like, no, let's get the other girls. Let's settle this because it shouldn't end like this. It shouldn't be like this. And Tiana was like, yeah, you're right. So while Tiffany and Tiana were talking, Robin and Quiana were talking, and they were actually getting along. The two main people who were arguing were getting along. And I think it's because they recognize a little bit of themselves in each other. So almost like sisters, you can flare up at each other, and then the next minute, you guys are fine, like nothing even happened. So I think that's what's going on with them. And they were ready to leave, the party, but Tiffany made them all sit down. They had their kumbaya moment, and they're getting along for now, and they're going to continue to support each other, which is nice. So it was, Tiana did have something, I can't remember, I think it was Tiana who said this, or maybe it was Robin. No, Robin said something about Quiana's outfit, like how she looked like she was a villain in a Western with that black ensemble. She's like, we're just coming to ride horses. We're not coming for all that. And I thought that was pretty funny because that's what I was thinking too. Okay, so I wanted to say that I really, really like how the show highlights all of these amazing Black businesses and people. Like, they don't just only talk about the main characters and the homes. Within that, they're highlighting Black business owners. They're highlighting actors, athletes, artists, developers, other real estate agents, people who we don't usually get to see. And they're actually highlighting them and letting us see how successful we Black people are and can be. So it's inspirational. And I think it's really great that they're adding that element. They're showcasing us in so many different types of positions and industries that we usually don't see ourselves in. So I think it's really wonderful that they're doing it. I think other shows should do that too, not just them. So kudos to Ladies Who Listen and OWN for really doing that. So I really appreciate it, and I love seeing that. So then we go to Cristol, my favorite person, not. So we go to Cristol. She's talking about being a Kimbro and what a Kimbro means and all this other stuff. You know, it's great that she, you know, feels so much pride in her family and her dad being there. And so she wanted to show to her dad everything that she's doing. And at the same time, she was highlighting a Black business owner, they're a family that does real estate and development. And I think they're called what are they called? The UBOs. And they were just highlighting, showcasing all of the development that they're doing. And she wanted her father to see that she's a part of that because she's the attorney for all of the homes that they're closing out on. So I thought that was really good. And you can see her father's pride in her. And I thought that was good. And it showed Cristol in a really good light. And then we get to the part where Cristol is showing this like humongous estate. It's huge. It's, I don't even know, it's not even a mansion. It's bigger than a mansion. It's an estate. It's like 26,000 square feet. And it's only being sold for $3 million. That's it. And she said this is a fixer-upper, and that if someone puts $1 million of repair into it, they'll be able to sell it for $5 million. Like, I don't think that's true, because we've been seeing homes on this show that are 5,000 square feet, 6,000 square feet, that are being sold for $1 to $3 million. And this is a 26,000 square foot home, and it's only being sold for $3 million. So that just tells you how bad it is, how much repair that it really needs, and how much work really needs to be done for it to, you know, be a $10 million home, which is probably where it should be priced at, or 8 to 10. And so putting just $1 million into it, I don't think that you're really gonna get another million out of it. I think that finding a seller or a buyer to buy that house and take on that responsibility is hard to find, because you need someone who knows about development, who knows about reconstruction and design. And a lot of people aren't going to take that risk of buying that much property, knowing all of the updates and repairs it needs. So good luck to her. You know, she didn't say that she was the one buying it, but good luck to her and whoever bought it. And hopefully they'll be able to flip it and make a nice little income from it. So the next big part of the show, the next major part of the show, not a lot happened, but it was still interesting, was Quiana's 40th birthday party. She threw a beautiful party. She had everyone dressed to the nines. It looked like they were going to the Oscars. The theme was Met Gala, which seems to be everyone's theme now, but it was great to see them all dressed up and looking pretty. Supposedly Quiana had 3 outfit changes, but we only saw one, and I thought that one looked quite crazy. The headgear, and then the huge earrings, and then the big necklace. You know, they always say, you know, before you go out, look at yourself in the mirror and take one thing off. And I think she should have taken 2 or 3 things off, because it was way too much. We know that she's the queen bee for the night, but she just should have kept that crown on and that be it. But we got to see her family. She has a beautiful family, and she was very proud to show them to her friends. I'm sure that they're extremely proud of her. So it was nice to see, you know, family there. And we got to see the other outfits that the ladies wore, and they all look beautiful. I really liked Tiana's red dress. I thought it was beautiful. It fit her great. The only thing is that the sheer panels didn't really match her skin color, which is a problem that we beautiful Black women have to go through. They don't make nude colors for Black people in our multiple shades. They only make nude colors for white people. But I think that is slowly changing, slowly. And hopefully soon we'll see more dresses that have our nude color where we don't have to take out the netting and put new netting in. But other than that, she looked beautiful. They all look fabulous. At first I didn't like Cristol's headgear, but then I was like, okay, that looks cute. It matches her dress. So before the party, you know, Cristol was kind of talking about Tiffany to Quiana. And it seems like Cristol, and before last week, Cristol was talking about Tiffany to Robin. It seems that Cristol is really pressed to be Tiffany's friend. And Tiffany ain't thinking about her. You know, she's really not, but Cristol is. And, you know, Tiffany made a good point. She was like, you know, before, you know, we've seen each other multiple times. We've said hi, bye, nothing more than that. And Cristol has never, ever said anything about how I'm behaving, how she doesn't understand why I'm not being more friendly. You know, so why is she doing it all of a sudden now? Is she doing it because now I'm Robin's friend and she's jealous of that, so she's calling me out? I personally think it's because of the show. She wants more of a storyline, so she's creating this beef between her and Tiffany where there is none. So all the girls are standing together talking, and then the other girls slowly move away so that just Tiffany and Cristol can talk. And the conversation did not go well. Cristol told Tiffany how she felt, that she doesn't understand why they're not friends or have a better relationship. They see each other a million times and there's nothing happens. And Cristol thinks it's because Tiffany has an issue with her. And she told her that. And Tiffany was like, listen, boo-boo, I don't really think about you. I have my friends. And I'm not the type of person that walks into the room and she needs to make friends with everyone. I'm comfortable with the friends that I have. And if I have a connection with someone, then I'll be that friend, or I'll try to become friends with that person. But if I don't feel any connection, if I'm not vibing, I'm not going to be fake. And Cristol felt some type of way. She was like, are you saying that I'm that person, that I walk into a room and I try to be friends with everyone and I'm not being a real person? And Tiffany was like, no, I'm not talking about you at all. I'm talking about me. I'm telling you how I am. And then Cristol was like, you know, I'm not fake. You know, if I see a Black woman who's doing the same work that I'm doing and she's doing well, I'm going to try to be friends with her. I'm going to try to support her. And when she said that, Tiffany was like, oh, okay, you're going to try to support me. So then she's like, okay, like I can understand what you're saying, but I heard from Kira is that you're actively trying to take her business from me. You're trying to have Kira start working with you when you know the type of close relationship that Kira and I had, and you're not respecting that. And she said that when Robin and her first started talking, Robin was like, you know what, I'm going to give you all my business. I'm going to push my business your way. And Tiffany was like, she didn't pursue that because she said, I'm not that type of person. And when she said that, Cristol was just silent. And when she was just staring at her. And Tiffany was like, are you going to say something? And it seemed like Cristol was trying to think of, okay, what should I say? She caught me. And then she was probably thinking, oh, Robin's going to take business away from me and give it to Tiffany. And so you could see Cristol get a little bit upset. And she was basically saying that, you know, she's checked out. She doesn't need to have this relationship. She doesn't need to have someone who's not willing to be friends with her for no reason. And she's trying to have a conversation with her and they're not able to have a conversation. And Tiffany is like, well, we're having a conversation right now. We're talking. Both of them were great. They were both really calm. They didn't raise their voices. They were just kind of like talking back and forth to each other and, letting each other know how they feel. And it's hard to tell if Cristol does really want to be Tiffany's friend or if it's just for show, but you can tell that Tiffany doesn't want to be Cristol's friend. So it'll be interesting to see in this next episode how they resolved it, because at the end of their conversation, Cristol just gets up and walks away, and that's it. And Tiffany was like, what was that? And so then that's how the show ended. And then we see that next week is going to be the finale. And I don't even know how they're going to conclude it. Like, what are they going to say? What are they going to do? What relationships are going to be, resolved? Who is still going to be friends after this? Because they really didn't talk about what the show was going to be about all these women coming together and forming a business. And they just weren't able to do that because of all of the personal conflicts. But we'll see next week how they end it. We know that Quiana isn't coming back, so she's not going to be part of the business, but it'll be good to see if the other women will. So I'd like to hear from you guys. What do you think of the show? Do you guys like it? Will you be watching season 2, or are you done with season 1 and that's it, one and done? Or are you still willing to give it a chance and watch the first couple of episodes of season 2 to see if it got any better? Personally, I like it. I think it's interesting. It's not my favorite, but I think it's good. I like seeing what they're doing, and I like seeing all these professional, beautiful Black women, showing us their trade and their craft and how they deal with each other. So I like it. I'm going to keep on watching season 2 when it comes out, and I'm going to see who they're going to replace Quiana with, because it'll be interesting to see. All right, guys, thank you for joining me. Check back next Friday for the season finale, and we find out what's going on. All right, have a great weekend. Bye, everyone.